We're now live, okay? All right, well, good evening, and I'd like to call the work order to session, or the work order to, we're gonna call it in session, work order, or the
Work session.
work session to order, yes, yeah. So, but before we begin our discussions, this is our work session. This is a time for the council members to review the items that are on the agenda, ask any final questions of staff, and receive any type of clarification or any last minute got-yous or, things that might have come up before our regular formal meeting begins. I'll remind you that during the work session, we don't take any formal votes. Any official action or any voting will take place during the regular council meeting in open session, and it'll be taken when the agenda item is called. And so we do these because this allows the council to be fully prepared, better informed, and ready to conduct the business of the city. So having said that, we'll go down. Everybody, you got the agenda and everything in front of you. We will skip down to number 6, the financial statement by Finance Director and our Assistant City Administrator, Mr. Bradley Smith.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. In front of you tonight, you'll see the financial highlights as of May 31st. Our ideal remaining percentage, of course, would be 8%. You'll note that both our general funds and water and sewer funds are below those ideal remaining percentages, as actually have expended more than what the original budget was. This is due to many items. The general fund is primarily due to the depot construction costs. That's why you're going to see that we're a little bit over there. They were budgeted for this year. We went faster than we expected, and finished the whole project quicker. So that one's not a concern to ours. The water and sewer fund, we have had some major repairs this year, which have caused that to go over there. But you'll note still that we're still well above the actual final number. You'll see that our net number for right now is $720,000. That still keeps us above the 1.2 multiplier for GFA requirements. So we're still in good shape financially in the water and sewer fund. It's just expenses this year have gone a little bit higher than what we originally anticipated. We have made those adjustments in the upcoming budget. So the budget that y'all are approving tonight is with the anticipation this is where we are going to finish our fiscal year. You'll note the stormwater fund, it has been lower than that ideal remaining percentage all year. Remember that large project we had early in the fiscal year? We are actually getting really close to that 8% number. I told y'all as we got closer to the end of the fiscal year, I'd feel very comfortable with this one, and it looks like we're still on target to finish the year out above where we need to be, so I'm excited about that one. You'll note the restricted funds. We continue to collect cash for the SPLOST 2023 to 2028 fund. We are starting to see some of those big draws come in for the expansion at Liberty Park. We've already paid 2, anticipating a third one here probably in the next week or 2. So before I come back, we would have paid that third draw. So the construction progress going out there is going very well. I do not have an updated timeline. We do have a meeting with the contractor, matter of fact, this Wednesday, for our first OAC meeting, which is just meeting with the contractors on site just to discuss progress and see where we're going to be. I may get a tentative timeline then, and at which point I'll relay that to council, but I'm still very hesitant to give one because I don't want to make a promise and then we not meet that promise. So I'm hoping to hear more as we get closer, and especially on Wednesday. T-SPLOST, I did want to make a couple notes there. We are already starting to identify some projects coming up for T-SPLOST that we identified in the upcoming fiscal year. David Carlin has already been able to source some of these repairs, so some of them are actually going to come forward. We may actually do them before the end of this fiscal year. Some of them being in Summerfield. Ms. Rivera, I know we spoke about that, as well as some over off of Ford Avenue. There's some minor repairs that we need to do over there as well. So we may actually be able to pull those up a little bit quicker than we anticipated. So you may actually see some orange cones going up in and around the city, so just be prepared. And as those contracts do get a little bit closer, we'll make sure that council's aware of the areas that may be affected.
And we may get that done before the end of this fiscal year.
I definitely believe the Summerfield project, the Ford Avenue one, may be a little bit more in-depth. So that one may actually get pushed to just right after the beginning of the next fiscal year. But I'm pretty confident about the Summerfield one that we should get there. So, because it's just some small patchwork, not anything extensive like what we're seeing over on Ford. So.
How many streets we have to do that work in Summerfield?
I'm
Only
sorry,
one?
say that again.
How many streets? Only one?
David Carlin told me,
Two?
I think it's 2 streets, but I wanted to say it was 11 locations.
Yeah, there's
It wasn't, no, we're not repaving entire streets.
No.
This is a patch project, so a little,
That one is in front of my neighbor's
Yeah.
house.
but I believe David came back and told me there was 11 areas, I
Yeah,
thought.
there's
that he had-
there's one on Thornton Drive, there's one on, I think, Redford, and then there's one, when you come into Summerfield in the first entrance by the detention pond, and you go straight down there at the cul-de-sac, the cul-de-sac, yeah, right there in the cul-de-sac there. There's some patchwork to be done there. I know that's been there for, I
So
mean,
those three you just named, I believe, are the actual patches.
Yes.
Some of this is just crack seal.
yeah.
So it's much simpler process than actual, like having to pull up the asphalt, compact the dirt, put the asphalt back.
Yeah.
Some of them are just simply crack seal projects. So, so we're excited about those. So,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. But barring any other questions, that's where we are financially. And coming up at the next meeting in July, I will be bringing you the final budget amendments for the fiscal year. So, and we'll walk through those and I'll explain why in each one and in depth that council would like to go through. So, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, item 7, our service award will be covered during the regular council meeting, along with number 8, Employee of the Month. Number 9, our Vietnam Veteran Recognition Ceremony will be done also during the regular council meeting, as will item 10, the Business Spotlight. Item 11 is citizen comments. We will take those during the regular council meeting. If you're present here in the chambers, there's papers in the back that you just put your name on and your item. Give it to Brian over there in the corner, and then we will address those during item 11. For those of you that are on Facebook, if you have questions or comments, I encourage you to leave the comments on Facebook. We may or may not be able to get to them this evening, but what our public information officer will do is he will look at those comments and forward them to the appropriate director or directors as needed, who will address the issue. So going on to item 12, old business. Item 12A, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-01, and it's an ordinance to annex property under the 100% method. And we have 3 annexations and 3 rezonings, and they'll be brought forth by our Planning and Community Development Director, Mr. Jack Palmer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Pro Tem, and council members. The first property that you will consider for the second reading is at 769 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062023. And then the annexation of 759 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062023D, and annex of 0 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062023C. And you'd be considering the rezoning of 769 Chamberlain Road from RA Residential Agriculture Columbia County zoning to RC1 Residential. 759 Chamberlain Road from RA Residential Agricultural to Columbia County, from Columbia County zoning to RC1 Residential, and 0 Chamberlain Road from RA Residential Agricultural Columbia County to RC1 Residential.
So does anybody have any questions or comments on the annexation and/or the rezoning of these properties? Now, this is the second reading. We talked about this during the last council meeting.
No, sir.
I'm good.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're good. Thanks, Jack. All right, item 12G, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-07, ordinance to adopt the City of Grovetown budget for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027. This is our second reading. Once again, welcome Finance Director and our Assistant City Administrator, Mr. Bradley Smith.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. So tonight we are having our second reading of the budget adoption for the fiscal year 2026-2027. As always, our budget adoptions and amendments are all done by ordinance. does require first and second reading. We have had all public hearings necessary. We've done all advertisements necessary. And now we are just coming to you to finalize the process. There have been no changes since what has been presented to you. This is the one that we voted on not only the first time, but when we came out of our last work session, no changes have been made to this budget. So this is still the exact one that you saw and recommended approval for. So tonight we're just coming to you for the second reading.
As required by law.
It was required by our law.
yeah.
We could adopt this by resolution, but we would have to make a change to our charter and ordinances.
Again, as required by our law.
That's right.
Just because it's ours doesn't diminish its importance.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Not by state law, I guess, is what
Yeah.
I should clarify.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
All right, and Bradley, you're up here for the next couple ones here. Item 13A, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-01, a resolution to adopt revised garbage fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, if it's okay with you, I'm going to cover A through D all at the same time.
Yep. And let me read
yeah,
all
please,
those
go ahead.
out. Let me read them. 13A, I just read. 13B is recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-02. It's a resolution to adopt revised stormwater fee schedule. Item 13C, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-03, resolution to adopt wastewater treatment plant fee schedule. And item 13D, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-04, resolution to adopt revised tap fee schedule.
Yes, sir. So these are all items that we covered during our budget process. So the next four are all related to rates or tap fees. So the first three of them, one of them is the garbage fee. We are asking to an increase in the garbage fee of a flat amount of $3 for all residential, senior, and multi-can pickups. So what you'll see in front of you tonight is that we're asking for the single residential rate to be $23.50 per month. The senior residential cans to move to $8 per month, along with the Civic Church cans, and the recycling cans to go from $10.50 to $13.50. This is a flat dollar increase of $3 for each of the individual rates. This is based off of the CPI increases, the Consumer Price Index increases that we've received on our waste management contract over the last 5 years. We actually have not increased the garbage rate since 2020. So this has been something that we've been pushing off, and trying our best to keep it at this rate. We feel strongly that this $3 increase will allow us to continue to provide the services that we currently provide for the residential garbage pickup at the current schedule, for a once-a-week pickup for all those who have garbage cans. So this is something that we are looking to ask for. It's part of the budget that is going to be voted on tonight. That's where the revenue for the garbage revenues is come from, is based off of this. So we need to bring this to you. Now, for the first three, implementation timing, I want you to be aware of this. If you were to vote this tonight, what we would look at, this would be on the first full bill in the upcoming fiscal year. Well, the way our bills work, we're going to go from roughly June 15th to July 15th would be the first full bill in the upcoming fiscal year. That means that bill ends on July 15th. Residents won't see this reflected in their bill until the bill they received in the 1st of August. So even though it would go into effect July 1, we don't ever do rate changes to where they're effective until a full billing cycle can be completed. One, is just easier for our billing ladies up front not to do one in the middle of a cycle, but two, it just makes it cleaner. It's a clean change from one billing cycle to the next. So after adoption for these first three, you will residents won't see these result in their bill until August of 2026, which would be technically the second month of the new fiscal year. So the next one that we're looking at is also the stormwater fee schedule. Currently, we have a $4.95 equivalent residential unit. We use equivalent residential unit as our base number for our stormwater. That's a very fancy word that we charge all single-family detached residential $4.95 a month currently. What we're asking to is increase that by $1 to $5.95 per month. So attached residential, which is your townhomes or your, let's just go with townhomes because I can't think of another one off the top of my head right this moment. They are 60% of one ERU, one equivalent residential unit, that ERU number. So that would be $3.57 per month. Now, a non-single-family residential property, which is just another fancy word for pretty much saying commercial properties, they get charged $5.95 per ERU. So for example, if one commercial property is worth 2 ERUs, you will double that $5.95 ERU. All of our commercial properties have already been measured, so we already know how many ERUs those are for each of those commercial properties. So by changing that base from $4.95 to $5.95, our software will automatically calculate this for us. So, but for 95% of those who are affected by this, what they're going to show is they're going to go from $4.95 to $5.95 per month. This leads us into the last one, the wastewater treatment plant fee. I'm asking for a $1 per month reduction in the wastewater treatment plant fee. So these two should offset the majority of residents inside the city limits. You'll see a $1 increase in stormwater per month. You'll see a $1 decrease in wastewater treatment plant fee. Now, I did have a council member notify me earlier this week that he is one of the few. There will be some that would not see both. For example, some that live in neighborhoods that only receive garbage from us, that maybe get water and sewer from the county. For example, I know Brighton Landing up in the north side of the city does not use the city's water and sewer, but they do get garbage and they pay stormwater to us. So they wouldn't see the reduction in the wastewater treatment plant fee because they've never been charged the wastewater treatment plant fee because they're not connected to our sewer. So if you're not connected into our sewer, you would not see a reduction in the wastewater treatment plant because you've never been charged it in the first place. However, a majority of our customers will see a $1 increase with a corresponding $1 decrease. So we're hoping to keep that at a net zero. We are going to continue to evaluate this wastewater treatment plant fee. Remember, we talked about this during our budget process of each year. We're going to continue to evaluate whether we can reduce this. I know there has been some talk of let's keep it at $20 until the loan's paid off. But I think it's really important to have those who use it be the ones that pay for it. So it's called intergenerational equity. It's just a fancy name for saying whoever uses something should be the one to pay for it. So we don't want to keep charging our current users of this that $20 rate when in reality they're going to be the ones to pay for the full amount, and 15 years from now somebody move in to get the benefit of that wastewater treatment plant fee but never had to pay that impact fee. So we're going to continue to evaluate it to see if we can continue to decrease this wastewater treatment plant fee over time, and it will be something we evaluate each year during the budget process. So those are the first three. The last one here is our tap fees. I've worked with Mr. Lyons and for about 3 or 4 months now. We've been looking at these tap fees, and we are woefully undercharging. We were barely covering our costs of the tap itself. We have not increased these tap fees in, I forget the time frame. Keith, do you happen to remember the last time 17?
17, yeah.
2017 was the last time we increased these tap fees. As you can imagine, all costs increase over time. The city is having to pay these costs, and we've never increased them. So we're asking to update these to a more reasonable cost, because it's not just the cost of the tap. We have manpower now. I will say a lot of times that the developers install the taps for us, but we still have to confirm there's administrative work on the back end, all of which we can justify what we're looking at today. So we feel strongly that these are well within range. I've spoken to our attorney to make sure that he asked me many times, can you justify the cost here? Because that is one thing we have to do. This is not to make additional revenue. This is to help offset the cost of actually installing the taps to begin with. So those are the four. Now, that fourth one is a little bit different timing-wise. You adopt it today for it to be effective July 1. It is effective July 1 because the taps aren't based off of a billing cycle. They are based off when they're purchased.
It's a timing issue.
Exactly.
You purchase it today, it's due today.
Exactly. So that one is just a little bit different timing-wise. So if it takes effect July 1st, it takes effect July 1st. I'll make sure that we get this over to Joanne, and Joanne will start using this fee. Joanne being our planning and development clerk, I'm sorry. And I just referred to her as just her name. So, so she would get this, and this would immediately go into effect July 1st. So I know I just covered all four of those together, and it was important because I wanted to see wanted you all to be reminded of the relationship of each. But are there any questions regarding any of the four that I just covered?
Have we in the past have we put a routine review in our targets? I mean, it doesn't have to be something formal that we approve today or something, but just in terms of routine reviews of, I mean, this is a good example of things that have stayed the same, for several years, let's say. And just want to make sure that, that we are keeping up. Doesn't mean that, costs of whatever goes up tomorrow, that we got to change every time something goes up, but just so that we are making sure that the city is not, taking on expenses that we shouldn't have to do. Especially in a world we live in now where costs are increasing on a daily basis, if you will.
We do a rate analysis, especially on the major ones, your water, your sewer, your stormwater, your garbage. The matter of fact, and Mr. Bowman, this predates you even, we've done a stormwater study, Mr. Blair, 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
And each time, we just never came out to finalize this recommendation. As far as the tap fees, I will take that one on the chin. That is something that I have overlooked in months past. As a matter of fact, I say months, years past. Mr. Lyons brought that to me just a few months ago, and we've been working behind the scenes. I've brought in other counties to look at what their structures are. That was an oversight on our part. It's not something that I'm proud of. It's something we should have addressed 4 years ago, quite honestly. As far as garbage, we have even brought that. If I can say something that I probably shouldn't say, not everyone likes to see rate increases year over year. If I know that, again, Mr. Blair was the only sitting council member at the time, but in 2019, we raised the water rates 12% because they hadn't been touched for 8 years.
8 years, 9 years, yeah.
8 or
something like
9
that.
years. And one of the things that I feel strongly about is that small incremental increases is actually more fair to the consumer than one large increase all at one time. Because when we did that rate study back in 2019, you recall, we originally proposed an 11% increase, and council asked us to bring in an outside party, an outside company. They came in, and then they said that no, 12 was actually necessary to get us to where we needed to be then. And our water rates have not been touched since 2020 when we adopted that new rate schedule. So again, we've now been 6 years without adjusting rate schedules. So let's just say CPI has stayed constant at 3% for the last 6 years. We are significantly behind already. And I think CPI has probably eclipsed 3% consistently those last 6 years if I was a betting man. So,
Which is what I was getting at. Not that I'm suggesting that we even necessarily need to do it every year, but just be sure that we are, keeping
yes, sir.
keeping a watch over it.
And we will. And moving forward, I'll make sure that each year when we go to our budget offsites, I'll make sure that I include, hey, we haven't looked at the garbage rates in 5 years. We haven't looked at, stormwater rates in 6 years. We haven't looked and I'll make sure that we are aware of that. I mean, and again, I know both of those are addressed tonight, but for example, I'll make sure that we discuss water rates next year. We'll discuss, that can be part of our new offsite discussions, is to make sure we're discussing what our current rates are.
Yeah.
So, as a matter of fact, there's another one that I know we'll be bringing to you all soon is court. We haven't addressed court rates recently, and we need to review those court rates as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like I say, if we can at least discuss it, because it goes up some slight amount, we may want to make the decision that we're not going to raise it
Yes, sir.
regardless. So, but just so that we are aware of and that we make conscious decisions about where we stand.
absolutely. Yes, sir. We can do that for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And if I can caveat on what both of you gentlemen just said, I think previous councils tried to do just that. We didn't want to raise the rates unless we absolutely positively, we had no other choice. We had to do it because we were very sensitive to the perception from our residents about increasing rates. I'm sure if this passes this evening, I'm sure there will be folks that will be outraged about the garbage cost.
Yes, sir.
So I would just encourage everybody, go to Waste Management and try to get a garbage can on your own. Garbage can's gonna cost you $32.72. And if you get an extra garbage can, it's gonna cost you an additional $23.75. And there is no senior discount for folks that are 65 or older. So they pay the full amount. And we have, about 800 or so that are on our senior discount.
Yes, sir. Right at 800.
So, I mean, we get a good deal on garbage. And I know folks have said, why doesn't the city get out of the garbage business? But that's why. I mean, we can do it cheaper you know, when we got, you know,
Well, we have the negotiating power. We
We
can
have the
negotiate
negotiating power.
6,000 customers.
and we're getting ready to, I think it's what, this December is when the contract's up, if I'm not
Ye-
mistaken. So
we are
probably
going-
about September, October, we'll be doing an RFP and,
Well, we are evaluating, we are in the evaluation process of the
yeah,
contract. Yes, sir.
unfortunately, there's only about 2 or 3 companies out there in this area that can service us for garbage. And so,
That's absolutely correct, and that's what we're in the evaluation process of right now, is that there aren't a lot of providers that can, on the drop of a hat, pick up 6,000 customers. And even though it's about 6,000 customers, it's actually closer to about 6,700 cans, because a lot of people get multiple cans, or a lot of civic places get multiple cans. And matter of fact, we actually considered switching just a few years, about 4 or 5 years ago, and they couldn't
they
get the
couldn't do
cans.
it. They couldn't do it.
So we had to go back with, at the time, it was advanced disposal.
Yep.
And of course, Waste Management has since purchased advanced disposal, because they just couldn't get their hands on enough cans, so. But anyways, I'm sorry.
Mr. Smith, I don't want us to be insensitive to, you know, to raising rates on our citizens. But at the same time, when you consider what we're charging in comparison to the market, I think we're being fair. And at some point, we're being ultimately unfair to citizens if we're paying costs directly out of, you know, out of the city's budget that should probably rightfully be picked up, especially if you consider the fact that we are already being more than fair with the rate that we charge.
Yes, sir, I 100% agree. Okay, well, I'm sorry, go ahead, yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
I
please.
just want to say thank you so much for answering my questions. I know I went back and forth with you
Yes, ma'am.
regarding this and had just a lot of additional questions about, you know, bidding out for another vendor, and you explained everything and showed me in writing. And I just want to say I totally appreciate it.
You're welcome, Ms. Simpkins, anytime.
All right, we'll move on to item 13E, recommend approval for reduction in service for bulk trash.
Yes, sir. This is another item that did come up at the budget offsite. And now I do not have any documentation to provide you tonight. The reason being is this is for you to give me the green light to move forward with this. One of the things that we discussed during the offsite, currently all of our citizens receive bulk trash pickup every other week. Based on the discussions we had during the offsite, we are going to reduce that service from every other week to once a month. The reason I haven't presented you with a calendar or anything is I need this vote so we can move forward. One of the things that I do want everyone to be aware of, if you vote this tonight, this is not going into effect July 1st. There would not be enough time for us to get this properly planned and executed in less than 1 month's time. The intent is for this to go live in October. That would get us through the growing season, that would get us through the grass season, and then would give everyone 6 more months before we get back into that growing season again. So we would want to get past the growing season, execute this on October 1st, and then we would put out a schedule. We would make sure that all citizens are notified. We would send out a mailer. We would put it out on Facebook. We would put it out on all of our social media and on our website to make sure that anyone that can be notified, we want to make sure they are notified. We would probably send this out as a separate mailer once, and then in the water bill itself a separate time. Because again, this is a significant change. It's going to be something that people need to be notified about. So the reason we're asking for this is a lot to do with costs. The General Services Department is getting streets added to them every year. We're adding more people every year, which means not only does that affect the fact that we're having to make more bulk pickups, but it's also taking them away from being able to do general repairs, street signs, right-of-way maintenance. We're having to hire more people. So by us reducing the amount of pickups from once every 2 weeks to once a month, we're going to be able to reallocate these people at least 2 weeks out of the year. 2 weeks out of the month to this right-of-way maintenance, to street maintenance, to sign maintenance. All things that the Streets and Maintenance Department is already responsible for. Streets and Sanitation Department. I keep saying Streets and Maintenance, I'm sorry. Streets and Sanitation Department. So we feel strongly that by allowing this reduction in service, is what I'm calling it, this allows us to repurpose a lot of our employees in that department to where we could use them elsewhere. So tonight, what I'm asking for you all is to make a motion to approve the reduction in service. This is not something that's codified. It's not something in a resolution. This is just service delivery. However, I've asked for a vote from the dais so that when people come, it was not staff that just one day decided, we're not doing this like this anymore. It's a full decision of council to support this recommendation from staff for a reduction in service. I know there's probably some questions, and I'll be glad to answer any that I can.
Actually, Mr. Smith, in support of that recommendation, I can tell you, I haven't done an official study, but I can tell you the every 2-week pickup for no additional cost is somewhat of a luxury if you compare it to most neighborhoods in most cities. So it is certainly, although it may, impact people initially, it is certainly something that was worth considering and looking at, especially if it gives us the ability to dispatch employees to do other things, and still at once a month for no additional cost, it is still an attractive service.
Thank you for that.
Well, you're gonna hear this, I don't mean to jump the gun, but, you talk about cost. We are one of the only municipalities in the state of Georgia that picks up bulk trash and yard waste without collecting any additional fees. You're gonna hear.
On an incredibly frequent basis.
Yes, and you're gonna hear from Jacqueline tonight where we picked up 131 tons of bulk waste last month. We used to be able to take that to the dump for free,
Up to 150 tons.
up to 150 tons. Now we pay $40 a ton when we go and we drop it off. So, you figure 150 tons, about what we average during the summer,
Yeah.
sometimes more.
If it's
you know,
raining
times
a lot.
40.
Yeah. If it's raining a lot, that stuff weighs significantly
yes.
more.
How much we're paying for, yeah, so.
Well, like I say, I hadn't done an official study or survey, but I've had enough contact to know that the service that we've been providing has been extremely attractive, and even once a month with no additional cost,
Yeah.
still remains in the category of extremely attractive service.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And it goes back to that balancing act of, the guys that are picking up trash and the bulk waste and the yard waste are the same folks that are, like you said, clearing the rights way. They're the ones that are fixing the potholes.
Yeah.
And, you get hit from one side about, hey, how's come this pothole is there? Well, because the guys are out picking up the trash, which do you want? Well, we'll hire more people. Okay, so we'll hire more people, but now that becomes an enduring cost. And that person that picks up the trash and it's, say, we hire a kid out of high school and we pay him $18 an hour, which is our starting rate, or $19 an hour. By the time you pay fringe and everything, we're talking $65K a year per person. Now that is now an enduring cost. And so that money's got to come from somewhere, and that comes from our citizens. And so this is a balancing act about how do we maintain some quality of service, and still meet the demands of cutting the right-of-ways and filling the potholes and picking up that yard waste and stuff. So,
Great term. It's a balancing act.
yes, sir.
Any other questions
Any
I can
other
answer?
questions on this?
No, not at all. You've always answered everything I've asked, so.
And again, this will be something that will not take effect until October 1st. We will do as much,
We got a lot of work to do on it.
we do. We
got
have
a lot
some
of
work to do on it, and we will do our best to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to be notified.
And we still have the dumpsters that are available that folks can call in and get. We'll deliver them, and you can fill them up, and we pick them up and take them to the dump. So
Yes, sir.
if somebody's cleaning out a house or garage or a shed. All right, so item 13F, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-05, resolution to declare items as surplus property. Once again, Bradley,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the stage.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I just really wanted to speak to y'all in depth today. I did. 2017 Chevrolet Silverado needs a new transmission. Transmission costs about $8,500. It's just not worth it. we put 8,500 into it, we may get another year to 18 months out of it. Quite honestly, the best recommendation we have is for you to surplus it today. We're gonna park it down at the maintenance shop, and we're gonna scrap every potential part that we can use it for, so that all that's left is this bad transmission and possibly the frame. And that's what we do. We will tear it down. We have a great maintenance shop now. Eddie and his team, they do a good job saving us money by scrapping parts off of these older vehicles that y'all allow us to surplus. So by the time we get done with it, we just carry what's left of it down to the metal department, metal shop, and get what we can dollar-wise. So what I'm asking to you all tonight is to approve the surplus of this truck, with the understanding is that we are not selling it. We are going to take every working component off of it and put it on some other truck. And then
Cannibalize it.
cannibalize it, that's
There we
correct.
go.
We will be cannibalizing this truck, and then whatever's left, we will take down to the metal shop and get a couple $100 worth of metal out of it, so.
At the end of the day, based on value, it's worth more in parts than it is as a whole, yeah.
Yes, sir, it sure is. And again, the transmission being bad, it's not worth
That by itself is,
making the repair, yes, sir.
and I
But-
understand there's other things wrong with it in addition to that, but that's the real major issue, yeah.
Yeah. The tire pressure sensors being bad, I'm gonna have to get on with David about, we didn't really need that on there, but thank you, David, for putting those tire pressure sensors on there. So, but anyways, but that's all I have for that. If there are no questions, I believe that's the last thing I've got on the agenda.
That's the last thing you have. Item 14 will be our director's report. We'll cover those during the regular meeting. Then we do have an executive session this evening, and then we'll come back out and that'll conclude. So does anybody have any final comments before we close out on the work session? Questions, comments? Are y'all good? Y'all ready to roll right into the?
Yeah, I see we're already
Okay.
over.
All right, well, at this time, we'll adjourn the working session. And at this time, we're still recording, right? All right, good. Well, all right, at this time, I'd like to call to order the council meeting for Monday, June 8th. I will announce we do have a quorum, and I thank you for joining. If you would, please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance to give by Councilwoman Simpkins.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you tonight. We just thank you for just everything that you have done and will continue to do here tonight in our city, in our lives, and just every aspect of this world, Lord. We just want you to also give a prayer to our Missy Lane, our city administrator, for get well wishes, Lord. And we just want you to look over on those dealing with bereavement. We have a staff member that's dealing with a grandparent loss, Lord. And we just want to say that come into the midst as we do the business of the city, Lord. And we give you all the glory and the honor and the praise. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, before we begin, I just want to take a moment to kind of caveat on what Councilwoman Veronica Simpkins said, and she was asking for prayers for our city administrator, Elaine Matthews. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but Miss Elaine Matthews, she's under the weather right now, not feeling good. She's not able to be with us here this evening. I'm sure that you all know Elaine. She's the steady hand for the city. Her presence, her leadership, you know, her hard work do not go unnoticed, and they have been missed here these last couple days. So on behalf of myself and the council and all our city employees, Elaine, I know you're watching, so we want to let you know, hey, we're thinking about you, we're praying for you, and we wish you a full and a speedy recovery. We miss you, and we appreciate you and everything you do for the city. And we look forward to having you back soon, which I think we talked about, the 22nd of June. We want you to take some time off and get well and come back ready to take the helm again. But we got it. So again, thank you for everything you do. All right. Well, anybody else have anything they want to say? No? Okay. All right. I will look for a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
All right. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I, Veronica Simpkins, second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Do we have any discussion or comments? All right, at this time, please signify by flipping the switch. All right, motion passes unanimously. Item number 4, approval of the May 11th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve those?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve the May 11th, 2026 regular meeting agenda, meeting minutes.
All right, we have a first. Do we have a second?
I, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, second that motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Do we have any discussion? All right, hearing none, please cast your votes. All right, motion unanimously approved. All right, item number 5, committee reports. We'll start with public safety. Once again, welcome to our regular scheduled council meeting. For those of you that are here in the audience, appreciate y'all being here. For those of you who are on Facebook Live, thank you for tuning in, for watching us. And if you watch us at a later time, again, just appreciate you checking in and seeing what's going on. I'm going to start with the police department as part of our public safety department. The call volume for the month of May, our police officers responded to 4,074 calls for assistance. That brings their year-to-date total to 19,543. Over the last 30 days, there have been 38 arrests. Our CID has opened 12 cases and has closed 11. You often hear Jamie get up here talk about blue lights in the city of Grovetown. We believe that blue lights deter folks, that prevents them from committing a crime here in Grovetown. If they see the blue lights, hey, the police are here, this is probably not a good place to commit a crime. We conduct a proactive patrol at least once a month, and we did the proactive patrol this month, 42 stops, 16 citations, 28 warnings. 3 of the vehicles that were tagged were uninsured, so they were removed from the roadway, and there were also 3 arrests. I'm sure you saw on Facebook. If not, our CID arrested a subject for child exploitation. I'll just leave it at that. So they got another bad guy off the street. And I often say it's not if you get arrested in Grovetown for doing that kind of stuff, it's when. So our K-9 unit conducted 77 traffic stops. They made 2 arrests, had 17 citations, 67 warnings, and Banner was deployed 3 times. Our officers conducted their annual training, the weapons qualification, and they did the physical fitness test. And I have to congratulate Investigator Kiefit. He did the fastest shuttle run, and Officer Solt, he did the most push-ups and sit-ups. So congratulations there, gentlemen. Major Eastman, who's there in the back, he attended the annual Matthew Velez Award Ceremony at Grovetown Elementary School. And again, some kudos, and I'd like a round of applause when I finish this one. But, you know, the Grovetown Police Department hosted their annual summer camp at Liberty Park for Grovetown youth. And we normally take 50 the local kids in. They have fun all week from about 8 to 4. They get breakfast and lunch and do some cool things, like they did a farm field trip. They had a foam party. They did a fire safety event where Chief Wayne Kent and his folks went down there and set up the firehouse, and they got to go through the firehouse. They were down there spraying them off when it was hot out there. They had a wildlife display. I got to go down there and watch them play kickball and shoot some basketball, and I'll tell you, they got some real wingers down there. Kids were like, hey, I bet you can't shoot from the three-point. And I was like, no, I can't, but they could, and got nothing but net. So lost a few dollars down there, but, you know, Major Eastman, hats off to you and to the entire department for what you do, and you deserve a round of applause for that. I think this has been about the 30th year that you've done this? Yes, about 30 years. Yes, sir. So switching gears, we'll go to the fire department. Fire department answered 38 calls for fire, 81 calls for rescue. And EMS, they had a total of 119 calls. During the training, Shift 3 conducted hazardous material monitoring training. Shift 2 conducted automatic aid and aerial operations with Columbia County Fire and Rescue's Engine Company Number 9. Shift 1 conducted some pre-incident training for the commercial businesses located here in Grovetown. And all the shifts had an opportunity to attend automatic aid training at the Wellstar Community County Medical Center, because our hospital's getting ready to open here sometime first week or so of August. So we're going to have a hospital there, just over there off of where the Super Walmart is and the convention center. So we're looking forward to that. They also conducted forcible entry training and hose deployment training. And all the shift captains attended a hazard building construction and response operation training also at the Wellstar Columbia County Medical Center. Chief Kent and our Fire Marshal Donahue, firefighter Trinity Williams, and Lieutenant Hodges traveled to Emergency 1 in Florida. They inspected our new fire engine, and we're supposed to get that here in about a month or so. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll probably have that on display and take some pictures and show everybody the newest investment that Grovetown is making with our fire and rescue. Speaking of our Fire Marshal Donahue, he updated 25 pre-plans, conducted 24 fire inspections, made 6 business contacts. Let's see. And that would be it for the fire department. Now I have 2 additional updates that I'd like to talk about here. One, and I bring this up because our Grovetown Police Department is involved in it. There's 2 important resources that are going to be available right here in Grovetown here this week for our residents and for families here in Grovetown, and this is also open to folks that are outside of Grovetown. First off, Golden Harvest Food Bank is going to be hosting its summer harvest food distribution program. It's going to be down at Risen Church, which is at 670 East Robinson Avenue. And what this is this program is going to help fill a real gap during the summer. You know, a lot of kids depend on school to get lunch and breakfast. That resource isn't there. So Golden Harvest is stepping up. They're going to have the food distribution Thursday, the 11th. At Risen Church. It's going to be from 9 to 11. They're going to have meat, they're going to have produce, they're going to have boxes of food that they hand out, and it's going to be a drive-through. Hence why our police officers are going to be down there, directing traffic coming in and out. You're going to go in, you're not even going to have to, they're not taking paperwork, you're just going to self-affirm that you need the food, and it's for folks that have kids that are 17 age or under. Again, there's no pre-enrollment or anything. There's going to be food, staples, pantry items, and I've been told they're going to do 15 pounds of meat. They're going to do 5 pounds of pork, 5 pounds of chicken, and 5 pounds of beef per box. I'm told they have enough for 300 families. So would encourage you all to come down if you need the food, to be there to get some food. And like I said, our police officers are going to be down there helping direct traffic. Then the second thing under the auspice of public safety is the Columbia County Health Department mobile unit is here in Grovetown every second Thursday of every month, and they set up there at the old Frank Wilson building, right up there next to Concerned Women at 104 John Street. You're asked to bring some ID, and if you have insurance, bring your insurance card, but I want to be clear about this. You do not have to have insurance to be seen by the Columbia County Health Department. They will see you. And some of the things that they do is they do physicals, they'll do immunizations, they do diabetes management, they'll do WIC referrals, they check your blood pressure, they'll check your cholesterol, do some checks, well child checks, if you need some sexual health services or family planning services, they're there to answer those questions and perform those services. And if you have any questions, and I'm going to give all this to Jordan so he can post on Facebook. And I know you've already posted about the Columbia County Mobile Health Unit, but if you call 706-868-3330, ask for Nikki. and she'll answer all your questions about the mobile health unit. So I know myself and the council, we're thankful for partners like the Golden Harvest Food Bank and the Columbia County Health Department, Concerned Women, and all their volunteers and staff that come and make this stuff possible for Grovetown. And that's how we take care of one another, and that's what a community looks like. So, but pending any questions or comments, that's all I have for public safety this evening. Sir, you look like you have a
Sir,
question.
just going to ask you again, can you repeat, what was the date of the Golden Harvest?
11 June, it's this Thursday,
This Thursday.
from 9 to 11. And it'll be at the Risen Church. Again, they're going to drive in, they're going to have it set up, and you don't even have to get out of your car. All they do is they just ask that your trunk is accessible or empty. But you know, some vehicles, like, you know, like if you have a truck, you don't have a trunk, you got a bed, you make sure it's empty, but they'll throw the food in there, and
What's the hours again?
9 to 11. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. All right, utility building and utility services.
Right.
Ma'am, Ms.
All right.
Simpkins.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone. Everyone that's present and everyone on Facebook Live. I appreciate you. Your utility service report as follows. All right, for the last 4 weeks, the Water Department has completed 126 trash can service orders, performed 511 other service orders, performed 22 water meter histories, repaired 10 water leaks, 21 new meters were installed, and 24 water meters were replaced. 5 homes were tested for pressure flows issues, and to our surprise, nothing was found. Stormwater Department cut and cleaned 15 retention ponds this month. They're ongoing cleaning ditches, replacing stormwater piping, and maintaining stormwater collection boxes. They assisted with water and wastewater departments with other tasks. The wastewater department cleaned 7 sewer lines, assisted other departments on 12 occasions, spent 12 hours just cutting grass at various locations in the city. The water treatment plant this month discharged 33.01 million gallons of treated wastewater in Butler Creek. They used 39.3% of the plant's capacity. They sent 14 dumpsters of sludge to the landfill. Equipment availability was at 92%. So good job with maintaining equipment. We appreciate it. Also, Landon Summers earned his Class 3 wastewater operator license. I want to say congratulations to him. I tell you, that test is hard. And from my understanding, over 70% of people who take the test fail it. So that is very commendable. Also, Sonny Genova earned his Class 1 wastewater operator license. Now, that is the highest license in the state of Georgia. So we can't ask for better staff. And again, that test is very difficult because it's mathematics, it's chemistry. So there's a lot of working components there. And I tell you, we really, really appreciate everything that our water department does. We thank you, and that concludes my report. Thank you, unless there's any questions.
Well, thank you, appreciate it. All right, on to planning and development. Councilman Richard Bowman, sir, floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. On the development side and business side of the house, in the month of May, Planning and Development performed 138 building inspections. They issued 12 certificates of occupancy, 9 new business licenses, and 30 building permits were issued. On the code enforcement side of the house, 48 overgrown vegetation cases, and this just like other situations in code enforcement, includes notices of violation, written warnings, as well as verbal warnings. I always like to, again, particularly with the season that we're in, that our citizens pay close attention to this, because we are in the overgrown vegetation season. So we ask that you monitor your properties. There were 24 signs removed from the right-of-way. Again, please be certain you have a right to post certain signs on your property, but they cannot be in the right-of-way, so please be aware of that. 15 trash can cases were brought to light. A simple thing that we can avoid in our neighborhoods of putting those cans out when they should go out and taking them back in. Fortunately, this past month, there were no inoperative vehicle cases, and there were no banners removed. There was only one business license check for confirmation performed. We were just talking about this. There were 32 bulk waste violations and cases that had to be addressed. There were 3 property maintenance cases that were addressed by code enforcement. There were no, this month there was not a reason to do construction permit checks. That worked through very well. And there were 0 civil matters that had to be addressed. In all, there were, the department handled 50 direct citizen contacts, which included complaints, concerns, and simply direction for the proper way that they should proceed. There were 0 parking violations this past month, but there were 3 obstructions of right-of-way. Again, just like signs, there is not a right to obstruct the right-of-way, so please be cognizant of that on your properties. And then finally, there were actually 0 animal nuisances this month, so your neighbors appreciate the fact that you are controlling your pets in the city and that they don't have to bring it forward to code enforcement. And that, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, is all that I have, unless you have any questions.
Any questions?
None for me.
All right, thank you. All right, next up is general services.
Thank you,
Ms.
Mr.
Rivera
Mayor
Claire.
and viewers from Facebook Live. Here's our General Services Report for May 2026. On the Streets and Sanitation Department, they pick up 92 bags of litter were removed from city streets and sidewalks. 131.32 tons of bulk and yard waste were collected during the month of May. 24 service orders were completed for May. 4 inoperable city streetlights were reported to Georgia Power for repair. 35 bulk trash yard waste violation tags were issued for the month of May, turning 4 over to code enforcement for non-compliance. 41 citizens calls for the month of May. 4.2 tons of waste debris were collected from city streets using the Elgin sweeper. Also, added chemical for weed control along city street rights-of-way. Our Leisure and Recreation Department on Liberty Park Community Center, total hours field and facility use 246. New contracts 31. Contracts returned with payment 16. New gym memberships 8. On the Grovetown Depot, total hours facility use 44. Total tours 15. New contracts 4. Contracts returned with payment 4. our landscape team, the landscape team add mulch and plant new seasonal plants at facilities throughout the city. Repair sprinkler systems at Goodale Park and Wildflower Garden. And also add chemical for weed and insect control as needed. Our grounds crew, the grounds crew continues to keep the parks and recreation facility cut, well-kept, and clean. And also added an additional drinking fountain to the doggy park. Our facility maintenance, 48 works orders completed for various facilities throughout the city for the month of May. And our fleet maintenance department, 49 vehicle repair orders for the month of May. Also, I would like to announce the next upcoming events that will be held in the city, and we want to invite all the citizens to join us. The first upcoming event is on June 13, 2026, from 11 to 1. That is going to be the Father's Day brunch at Liberty Park Community Center, located at 1040 Newmanton Road. Also, please save the date for July 31st from 6 to 9. That's going to be the National Night Out Back to School Bash at Liberty Park Community Center, located at 1040 Newmanton Road. And that's conclude our May report.
All right, thank you. Item 5E, administration, will be covered by Bradley during the director's reports. All right, item 6, financial statement. Can I get a motion to approve the financial statement?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will make a motion to approve the financial statement.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by, okay, cool. Unanimous. All right, item number 7, service award. Our finance director and our assistant city administrator, Mr. Bradley Smith.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem and Council. I'm excited to be able to do this tonight. I know Elaine normally handles this. But if I could have Ricky Norris come and join me this evening, and then I'm going to have Keith come up here as well. Normally, we let the director go ahead and speak, but I will say I had an opportunity to work very closely with Ricky. I'm not sure if he remembers it as fondly as I do, but during COVID, he and I got to know each other pretty well. He was one of 3 that kept coming into work to make sure things were staying in on top. Him and Anthony, I think, were the other ones that came in. And I think he and I probably had more conversations during that 6-month time frame than I'd ever spoken to him before. So, but Ricky is well dedicated to the city. I know we're only celebrating 10 years, but Ricky, it seems like you know so much. You've been here much longer. So I can't speak his praises enough, but I don't want to take too much of the time because I know Keith gets to work with him day in, day out and can say so much more. But I'm excited to be able to celebrate 10 years with Ricky tonight. But Keith, please, go ahead.
Yeah, Ricky, he works in the water department, but he also works in all the other departments. He helps out anywhere he needs to. He's a leader of his crew, and he's not only the designated leader, but he's the natural leader as well. And he works hard no matter what the job is. He doesn't care. He works every job that's on his crew, and he doesn't do this just on occasion. If you have a new employee, he needs to know how to do something, just watch Ricky Norris. And like I said, he's the backbone of the department, and I don't know what I'd do without him. So, thank you.
Cool.
So Ricky, we've got a certificate for you as well as your 10-year pin, and we want to just say thank you, Ricky, for all you do for us.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Let's get you a picture, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Congrats, man.
Cool. Yes.
Ricky, you want to say that?
I appreciate working with everybody at the city, and thank y'all for all the support.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we come to my favorite part of the council meeting. Item number 8, Employee of the Month.
Yes, sir. Again, I do appreciate the opportunity to be the one to present this tonight. If I could have Mr. Terry Floyd step out from behind the computers and come help us. We got David going to be here as well.
I was gonna say, who's gonna man the,
The cameras have already been started. They are automated at this point. So if we do have a malfunction, just know we'll send it back there real quick. I'm kidding. That's all right. But no, we wanted to take the opportunity to recognize Terry as our May 2026 Employee of the Month. Terry has been with us for some time now, and we've had the opportunity. He's one of our IT guys. He's the first one to pick up the phone, him and David, whenever there's an issue. He stays calm with us, even when I get a little frustrated sometimes about how my computer's not working. I can work Excel, but outside of that, I don't know. But no, Terry has been an outstanding asset even in his short time here. And again, I do have David Nile here, and I know he wants to say a few additional words, but I really do thank Terry for all that you've done for us so far. So, and I'm glad to honor you this month. So, come on, David.
I'm gonna bring the family up also. We kept it a secret. Yeah. Terry, I don't think expected this one. So, IT is one of these self-deprecating jobs where when it's working perfectly, we don't want you thinking about it, but it takes some work to make sure that it stays that way at the same time. And Terry allows me to be able to take a vacation, which is always nice. But I step out of the office knowing that he has it taken care of. I recently, by himself, we're trying to, what we call higher level thinking, right? So he has taken on the project of replacing 26 of our computers, a quarter of our computers, by himself. He set up the timeline, he set up the procurement, he set up the quotes, and be able to handle that project all by himself. So that tells you that his level of work isn't just an IT tech. He's able to take over my job as the IT manager on a moment's notice. So I just want to let you know, Terry, that I appreciate you. It's an honor working with you, and I'm glad that they chose you for the Employee of the Month.
Yeah, actually. I'm gonna chat at Kathy, but I'll be brief. No, I want to thank the city. I want to thank David and thank Brad and thank everyone for hiring me and getting me on. It's a job I love. I appreciate working for the city. It's been a very quick year, but I'm very grateful that the city does a lot for everybody, and I'm just happy to be able to work with a lot of folks and be able to, make other people's lives easier. So that is all. Oh, and my wife and kids. Hey, thanks, guys. Wife and kids are here too. They're surprised, but I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here as well. And glad they're back from college. I won't embarrass them anymore, even though I want to. But yeah, just thank everybody and thank the council and yeah, that is all.
Cool.
Shorty's in front. Shorty in front.
There we go, perfect. Right in the middle. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank y'all so much.
Hey. All right, item number 9, another favorite part of the meeting, our Vietnam Veterans Recognition. Councilman Richard Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. If Aviation Ordnance Man Robert Deavy would join me here, please. First of all, before we start introducing you to everyone, let me say that on behalf of the Mayor Pro Tem and this council, welcome home, soldier. Thank you for your service. The city of Grovetown is proud to honor Robert Deavy for his service to our nation during the Vietnam conflict and for his bravery in defending the freedoms of the United States of America. Robert Michael Bob Deavy was born on May 5th, 1950 in Manhattan, New York. In November of 1968, he enlisted with the United States Navy and was sent to the seas around Vietnam in 1969. Ordnance Man Deavy would serve 2 tours in the Republic of Vietnam, with the first being aboard the USS Oriskany, an aircraft carrier in the Pacific. His second tour would be as part of the USS Ranger, a supercarrier in action to deter the North Vietnamese. As a result of his service, Mr. Deavy would receive the following awards and commendations: National Defense Service Medal, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 2 Bronze Stars, and the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. Following his military service, Mr. Deavy entered police work in Villa Park, Illinois. After 27 years of service with their department, he retired as sergeant in 2001. He then worked for Homeland Security and TSA as a training coordinator, and then in 2002, he moved to Grovetown. Good choice. There to work with the Department of Juvenile Justice, again as a training coordinator. In 2005, he would take a position with the United Nations, serving in Haiti for 2 years as Chief of Police Logistics. Currently, he serves as the Vice President of My Chow Line, a nonprofit dedicated to helping U.S. military personnel, veterans, and first responders through the teaching of culinary arts. The city of Grovetown cannot thank Mr. Deavy enough for his bravery, sacrifice, and dedication to our country. We thank him for a lifetime of selfless service to our nation and our communities. We are certainly elated to have an American hero like Mr. Deavy call Grovetown home. The city of Grovetown thanks him for his service. As I said before, we welcome you home, and we are glad to have this opportunity this evening to let the city know who you are.
Thank you.
The city wants to present you with this, and I want to present you with the microphone. This is an evening for you.
This isn't about me. This is for all the veterans. I mean, I was so surprised to be asked to be here this evening, and thank you. But this is for everyone, all the veterans. They all deserve the same recognition.
Fair enough,
So
sir.
thank you.
We were glad that you could be welcomed home. And we all know that for some veterans from Vietnam, that didn't happen when they first came home. So that's why I'm stressing it tonight.
Well, thank you.
Welcome home.
Again.
All right, item number 10, the business spotlight. I'm going to call,
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, the business spotlight was unable to make it tonight.
We'll circle back to them
Okay.
potentially in a couple months.
Yes.
all right,
So
so we'll
we will
scratch
postpone
them.
that portion.
That's good, good, all right. All right, item number 11, citizens' comments. We have one citizen comment, Miss Carla Harrison. Come on down.
Hello, good evening. Carla Harrison, 1467 Lakeview Drive. I just wanted to talk a little bit tonight about voting and the importance of voting. So the last election we had roughly, I think, 7.5 or 17.5% voters actually turn out. And so I just wanted to say a little something about how much that matters and why people need to look into voting. In this area, I know there's a lot of military, a lot of people coming and going, a lot of people buy homes and leave them, and they have rental properties here. Their voices still matter. Everybody's voices matter. And I want to highlight that with a recent event that happened in the House and the Senate. House Bill, let me make sure I get the right number. House Bill 523 and Senate Bill 496 talks about limiting the rights of the city of Grovetown and Harlem to annex properties and grow. Does it specifically say them in the bill? Not really, I guess, if you want to read it that way, but I promise you, if you look it up and you just do a Google search, it sure does say that Columbia County would like the final say in what we do. And it does actually request veto rights for our county to take over the governance of our city, to take the control out of our city council members and our mayor's hands, and the same with the city of Harlem. So I know a lot of folks say, oh, well, Columbia County doesn't matter. We live in the city of Grovetown. We don't have to worry about what the county's doing. Harlem folks like to say the same thing because we are smaller. We're family oriented. We all tend to know each other or know of each other's families. We pass each other in church and on the streets and at city meetings. But the truth is, if we're not careful, we are going to be overtaken by the county. And they will take the power that we have invested in our council members and in our mayor pro tem, and all of our city administrators, the people that we work so hard with and we pay extra taxes to for the privilege of governing our own city. That is something that is very seriously not just being looked at, but actively trying to be taken away from us. So people need to be aware of that when we vote. When we go out and we vote, we need to not just vote for our city council members and our mayor. We need to make a concerted effort to understand who we're voting for in our city commission or our county commission, and what is happening with the county administration, what's going on with them. So again, it was just so disappointing to see such a small turnout. And I know if you listen to Radio Guy, I know everybody knows who Radio Guy is. It's going to be old Carla Harrison's got sour beans because Gary Jones didn't make it. Sure, I'm mad about that. Absolutely, but that's not what this is about. This is about an actual legislative action that the county stood up and said, we want to take away the rights of Harlem and the city of Grovetown, and we want to govern them in lieu of the people that they have elected. So really, if you have not registered to vote, please go register to vote. I will tell you, I personally did a voter registration day last year. Not one single person came out. It was so disappointing. If you are registered to vote, please take 5 minutes to vote. Vote absentee. Do whatever you need to do to get your voice heard and to just make it known that we are a city. We stand alone, but yet we stand together with Columbia County, but we don't stand under them. So that's all I have to say. So thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Any other citizen comments there you got, Brian? Is that it? That was the only one? All right, thank you. Thank you, ma'am, appreciate it. All right, item 12, old business. 12A, recommend adoption ordinance 2026-05-01, ordinance to annex property under the 100% method, 4.25 acres at 769 Chamlin Road, parcel number 062023, second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend the adoption of the ordinance 2026-05-01, ordinance to annex property under the 100% method, 4.25 acres at 769 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062023.
All right, we have a first, we have a second.
Mr. Mayor, I second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 12B, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-02. Ordinance to annex property under the 100% method, 6.36 acres at 759 Chamblin Road, parcel number 062-023D. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 2026-05-02. Ordinance to annex property under the 100% method, 6.36 acres at 759 Chamblin Road, known as parcel number 062-023D, the second reading.
All right, we have a first. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 12C, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-03. Ordinance to annex property under the 100% method, 6.37 acres at 0 Chamblin Road, parcel number 062-023C. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend the adoption of ordinance 2026-05-03, ordinance to annex property under the 100% method, 6.37 acres at 0 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062-023C. Second reading.
All right, we have a first. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 12D, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-04. Ordinance to rezone 769 Chamblin Road, parcel number 062-023 from RA Residential Agricultural, Columbia County zoning, to RC1 Residential, second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend the adoption of ordinance 2026-05-04, ordinance to rezone 769 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062-023 from RA Residential Agricultural, Columbia County zoning, to R-C1 Residential, second reading.
We have a first, we have a second.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, we have a first and we have a second. Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 12E, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-05, ordinance to rezone 759 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062-023D from RA Residential Agricultural, Columbia County zoning, to RC1 Residential, second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion for the adoption of ordinance 2026-05-05, an ordinance to rezone 759 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062-023D, from RA Residential Agricultural, according to Columbia County zoning, to RC1 Residential, the second reading.
All right, we have a first, do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor, Pro Tem, I second the motion.
First and a second. Any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 12F, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-06, ordinance to rezone 0 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062-023C, from RA Residential Agricultural, Columbia County zoning, to RC1 Residential, second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend the adoption of ordinance 2026-05-06. Ordinance to rezone 0 Chamberlain Road, parcel number 062023C from RA Residential Agriculture, Columbia County zoning to RC-C1 Residential. Second reading.
All right, we have a first, we have a second.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. All right, item 12G, recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-07. Ordinance to adopt the City of Grovetown budget for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027, second reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend adoption of ordinance 2026-05-07, ordinance to adopt the City of Grovetown budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027, second reading.
All right, we have a first, do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Do we have any discussion?
No, sir.
Bradley, you and your staff did an excellent job on the budget. All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. All right, yeah, once again, Bradley, your folks did a great, and thank you to all the directors. Thank you for y'all's input and helping us. I know we did a couple of budget offsites, and I know there's a lot of back and forth, but appreciate everybody's participation in that. All right, item 13A, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-01, resolution to adopt revised garbage fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-01, resolution to adopt revised garbage fee schedule.
All right, we have a first. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, hearing a first and a second, is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes unanimously. Item 13B, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-02, resolution to adopt revised stormwater fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend the adoption of resolution 2026-06-02, resolution to adopt revised stormwater fee schedule.
All right, we have a first. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, first and a second. Do we have any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, hearing none, at this time, please cast your vote, signifying either yea or nay. And everybody, yay. All right, motion passes. Item 13C, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-03, resolution to adopt wastewater treatment plant fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-03, resolution to adopt wastewater treatment plant fee schedule.
All right, we have first, do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, hearing a first and a second, is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 13D, recommend adoption of resolution 2026-06-04, resolution to adopt a revised tap fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I would like to make a motion for the adoption of resolution 2026-06-04, resolution to adopt revised tap fee schedule.
All right, we have a first, do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, hearing a first and a second, is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 13E, recommend approval for reduction in service for bulk trash. And this is allowing Bradley and staff to put together a plan which we will put forward, taking effect on or about 1 October.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend approval for reduction in service for bulk trash.
All right, we have a first, we have a second.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, here in the first and the second, is there any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. Item 13F, recommend adoption of Resolution 2026-06-05, resolution to declare items as surplus property.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend adoption of Resolution 2026-06-05, resolution to declare item as surplus property.
All right, we have a first, we have a second.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Do we have any discussion?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, please cast your votes. All right, motion passes. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mr. Smith, please make sure that, that the carcass of that truck gets picked clean for parts. All right.
We need to do a picture of it sitting on blocks with the wheels going and stuff. Yeah, okay. All right, item 14, our director's report. We'll start with you, Bradley, and I know you're going to fill in for Elaine this evening, so city administrator. or
Yes, sir.
Assistant city administrator.
Yes, sir. I'll go ahead and cover both mine and
All right.
finance.
Cool.
So I wanted to reiterate, Ms. Rivera mentioned earlier that the Father's Day event is coming up this Saturday at June 13th at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be a barbecue brunch. So if you're able to and you haven't signed up yet, we still have some available spots. So please feel free. We are encouraging all fathers who are able to come to please come join us. National Night Out, again, Ms. Rivera alluded to. We want to make sure we will be having this at Liberty Park. We believe that there should be ample space. The lower parking lot is still available, so we will be doing that on July 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Liberty Park Community Center. So there should not be any interruption due to the expansion going on right now. The other two items, we are currently coordinating a meeting with John Ossoff's office through one of his aides. So we are going to be meeting with him in the upcoming weeks, not him being John Ossoff. We'll be meeting with one of the aides. Washington senators don't make too many trips down to come say hey to us, but maybe he will one day. But we are going to be talking to him about potential funding sources for different projects that we have planned coming up, and hoping to see if we can get some of that congressionally directed spending here in the next coming couple years. We also have the executive luncheon with the Columbia County Chamber of Commerce, the military appreciation. Mayor and council, this is open to you all. If you have not registered, get with Jordan. We do reserve a table for each of these executive luncheons, so if you're able to come, that would be on June 24th from 11 to 1. It will be here at the Exhibition Center, so if you would like to come, and again, this is their military appreciation luncheon. It's a great one they put on every year. So if you're able to come, we would be more than happy to have you join us. And then the last thing, finance-wise, as you all heard, the financial statements for May, this is the last month of our fiscal year. So we've got a lot of directors running to me trying to spend the last few dollars out of their budgets. But that's how every year ends up. But we are excited to wrap up this fiscal year. And again, the budget amendments for this current fiscal year will come to you next month. But barring any of that, that's what I wanted to share with you all from the city administration. So,
Thank you.
absolutely, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank
just
you
to
so
reiterate
much.
something that he said, the Father's Day bruncheon, I guess we'll call it, the bruncheon. Yes, you have to register. You have to pre-register for that. So go ahead and get on, call Josie and give her your name and the number, because I know there's limited spots. So I'm looking forward. It's going to be a good time. Barbecue, they got some cool door prizes, and it's a great time of fellowship and spending time with the men in our life who helped shape us. Let's see. City Clerk, Ryan, you have anything, sir? All right. Dave Tolson, he's not here. Okay.
He's in training this week.
He's in training, yeah. You already gave your general services, sir. Anything? No?
No.
Planning and zoning, Jack. Police department, sir. Good afternoon,
council
sir.
members. I just have a few things to thank Captain Kent and his crew, and especially Mr. David Carlin and his Parks and Recreation for assisting us during our summer camp. Without their assistance, we would have not been able to get that far successfully during our time there. But I would like to just thank them publicly for their support and assistance during this time.
Yes, sir. Thank
That's
you.
all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll encourage you, if you guys didn't get a chance to go down there this year, get down there next year for breakfast, because day I was there, we had Pop-Tarts, and the major makes some his Kool-Aid, his special Kool-Aid. So yes, very, very delicious. General Services, I didn't want to skip over you. You anything? No, sir? All right. Fire and Rescue, Chief, got anything? Jordan, our PIO. All right, and of course, I would be remiss if I didn't. Yes, sir. Anything from our attorney? So, Keith, you got anything? Anything, sir? All right. He thought I was going to forget him. You thought I was going to forget him too.
You kind of teased him a little bit.
I know.
right?
Save the best for last. Yeah. All right. At this time, hearing no other directors that want to speak up. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the regular session, where we will enter into a closed session for a real estate issue. I don't know how long we're going to be in there. It could be 15 seconds. It could be 15 minutes. It just depends on the way the discussion goes. So at this time, I'll ask for a motion that we enter into executive session.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we enter into
Alrighty.
executive session.
All righty. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
Cool. At this time, I'm going to close the regular meeting. We're going to enter into executive session. Like I say, we'll be back. You don't have to hang out if you don't want to, because we have no other business once we return. So We're back live? All right, at this time, can I get a motion, we enter back into regular session?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we go back to regular
Do
session.
we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, please cast your vote. All right, we're back in regular session. I'd like to say that during our executive session, no action was taken. So with that, is there any final questions or comments from any of the staff? Any of the council members?
None at all.
All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I second the motion.
Right, at this time, meeting adjourned.